Hello, this is a video on Ceres, the goddess of death and rebirth. This is one of the asteroid videos that I make. If you checked out my other videos, I also made a video about Pholus, Nessus and Lilith. Now this video is dedicated to an asteroid which has to do with neurosis, control, loss, love, because often, most of the time, if you have it prominent anywhere, the reason why Ceres is even there is because you love that thing or that person. Number 5, attachment. The neurotic kind of attachment, which is excessive and controlling, leading to all the other issues I mentioned before. Ceres, as the goddess of fertility, is about something that looks really good, something juicy, something tasty, but you're gonna lose it. It's gonna move away from you. It's about the myth. The myth of Ceres is Ceres had a daughter. That daughter got raped, kidnapped by Pluto into the underworld. Her name was Persephone. And at the end, Ceres couldn't get her back. So she was separated from her daughter against her own will, which is exactly what happens when you have Ceres in the horoscope. You are separated from something that you want to maintain, something you want to keep, something that you can't care to lose. You're afraid to lose it, but you're gonna lose it. And what happens after you lose it is that you go through transformation. So it's a plutonic object. Because Ceres, every time during the year when she wasn't able to see her daughter, because she could see her only for a limited time, when she saw her, she gave harvest to the land. She made the land fertile. So everybody was taken care of, everyone was provided for, but when her daughter left back to the underworld to return, she would let everybody starve. And that's what happens with you. If you have Ceres on a natal planet, in a conjunction, in an opposition, you're gonna want something, you want to have it, but you will not be able to get it through control. You won't be able to keep it. But you'll be very, very good in providing it for other people. So, in a natal horoscope, if you have it on another person's planet, or if you have it conjunction your sun, your moon, or ascendant, you'll have other keywords, like being protective, nurturing, and caring. But guess what? Where does the nurturing and caring come from? 2 things. Love, which is positive, and fear, which is negative, leading to control. If you find somebody and you have their Ceres conjunction your natal placements, think about it as if you're going to lose what they provide you. You're going to love that thing and you're going to lose that thing. And when you lose it, you better be ready, because your fear will try to control the situation to get it back. There's a neurotic issue with Ceres. There's a neurological problem, a physiological problem. Your nervous system gets hijacked when you have Ceres anywhere in your horoscope. If you are born with Ceres in a different house, whatever house it's in from the 12 houses, this is the house, this is the area of life where you will experience neurotic issues. Everybody has some kind of neurotic issue. Some kind of issue where the person is very attached to that thing, but once they lose that thing, they can't stop thinking about it. Okay? So it's somebody who's unable to detach, unable to separate, because for some reason they need that thing. They're dependent on that thing. In the same way that Ceres, the mother of Persephone, couldn't let her go. She threatened to let all of humanity starve and die if she didn't get her back. And that's the only reason why Zeus made a compromise to give her back temporarily. Of course, when you don't see that object that you want to get, you go crazy. And that's what Ceres is about. You going neurotic when you lose that thing. And it's so simple, actually. When you know that's what it is, then you know you are dealing with mental illness. It's a mental illness asteroid. Isn't that great? Like so many other asteroids, we're talking about a shadow. We're talking about something that is not integrated until you unlock it. How do you unlock Ceres? By going through that loss, losing it all, but managing to get it all back. Your ability to get back what you need is your ability to deal with Ceres. Do you understand? So the fear of loss is because there is a subconscious belief that once you lose that thing, you will not be able to get it back. And that's the cause of a neurosis. A person is neurotic because they're trying to get something which they believe they cannot get, which maybe they don't even want to get, but they feel forced to get it. You could feel forced by society, you could feel forced by habit, or you feel forced by fear, which is what Ceres is about. It's a fear that controls you. A fear of deterioration, a fear of breaking down. A fear of loss is compensated through other control mechanisms. For example, the reason why Ceres is associated with something positive is not out of the person's graciousness of heart, of a person's kindness or their selflessness. The reason why is Ceres individual, why Ceres is about nurturing and protection, is because you go crazy if you lose it, that's all. Yes, there's not a single good, and I mean good in quotation, reason why you would have Ceres anywhere in your chart. There's always a negative, always a bad reason, and I say bad also in quotation. When I say bad, I mean negative. A negative reason, a traumatic reason for why Ceres is there. And everybody has Ceres. So where is it for you? Where have you experienced something very negative? So let's talk about what you have to experience to have Ceres where you have it. Well, wherever you have Ceres in your natal chart, the reason why you have it there is because you lost something over and over and over and over again, and you could not form a safe attachment to that thing, which means there was no ontological security. Look it up. You can look up the word online. Ontological security means that once you have it, you feel that you will keep it, you don't worry about it, you have it, so it's fine. But if you don't have ontological security, meaning if you have Ceres in the natal chart, then you feel as if no matter what you do, it's never safe. It's never good enough. If you have Ceres in a synastry with someone, check your partner's chart and yours, check the synastry. Do you have Ceres in a conjunction? Because Ceres tells you what you will not get. If you are the Ceres person, you will be the one who doesn't get it. If the other person has Ceres on you, they won't get that thing from you. Do you understand? But they want that thing. Do you see? They need that thing. They hope to get that thing. They're trying so hard to get that thing from you, but they are not going to get it. Okay? They won't. Unless somehow some miracle happens, I don't know. I have never seen somebody get what they want when Ceres was involved. Never. Except once, because my father has Ceres on the ascendant. So Ceres is very prominent in his horoscope, so I know all about what Ceres looks like. The person loves you, they protect you, they take care of you, but it's based on a condition that they are going to get what they want from you. I have Venus on his Ceres. So if Venus is involved, that means they want your love, they want your money, your stability, your resources, and they're not going to get it because Ceres is there. Okay, they have Ceres on you, they're not going to get your thing. And that's basically it. And now you're asking me, what's the solution? Can I do something about this? You're wasting your time. If you ask me, there's no reason why you should do something which the very nature of the asteroid is telling you is going to make you mentally ill. Why is it a mental illness indicator? Because the need for control is the need to get what you want, which you won't get. If you try to get something which you won't get, that's mental illness. Why? Because it means that you're not dealing with reality. You're not accepting the situation. So of course the solution is not to try to get that thing. The solution is to accept. To accept that you are going to have limited access to that thing. And that you have to compromise if you want to get it anywhere. But if it's not enough, then you must remove yourself. You must not pursue that thing that is forever outside of your grasp. To chase something like that is to chase a carrot on a stick. It will not work for you. However, because of the protective qualities, the very nature of Ceres is to create stability, is to create predictability. And that's Ceres' strength. That's a good thing about Ceres in your chart. So among all that mental illness, the goal is positive. You are using mental illness, you are using neurosis to get the stability that you need. So if you can get the stability, doesn't matter, does it, what you do to get it, as long as you do. I like to say the end justifies the means, because if you get what you want, you're no longer mentally ill. So if you can get what you want, Ceres, great. But 99% of the time, Ceres is there because you won't get it the conventional way. So if you try to work for it, if you invest, that's not how you get it, not through chasing. Because that's exactly what Ceres does in the mythology, you see. She chases after her daughter, and that chasing gets her nowhere. Only gets her to suffer needlessly. But when she accepts that she can only get her daughter for a limited time, the suffering goes away. And she still reaps all the rewards and the benefits. It's just about accepting that you won't get everything, but you still get what you need. You still get what you need. Okay, if you have Ceres in the natal chart and you're worried about never getting that thing, according to Demetra George, Ceres is entering a figure which gets raped, destroyed, stolen from, abandoned, and then she gets everything back, and she rises again in a re-emergence from the ashes. And that's exactly how it works in your natal chart as well. So you rise because you never give up, because you don't let go. But didn't you just say, I should accept? Is that not letting go? No, you misunderstand. Letting go and acceptance is not the same thing. Acceptance doesn't mean you let it go. Acceptance means that if you want to get what you want, you're going to have to suffer for it. And it might not work, but you are okay with it if it doesn't work. You are detaching from the outcome, but you're accepting the situation in which you find yourself in which you need to keep that thing, get that thing. Don't try to stop getting that thing. I'm only saying to stop chasing. What is the difference between trying to go for something and chasing? Is that you go for it on your own rhythm. Your body has its own rhythm. Your body is telling you all the time what to do. And all you have to do is listen. The reason why Ceres creates neurosis is because the person is not listening to their own body. The person is at war with their own body out of the fear of loss. But the fear is not natural. The fear is not coming from within. The fear is coming from those who came before you. And you will reenact, like a repetition compulsion, which is also a Chiron theme. You will reenact the same situation that you're trying to avoid, which is to get anxious after you lose that thing. And because you're anxious, what do? You chase after it. So if it's anxiety that dictates your behavior, then you know you are reenacting the trauma of Ceres and you're not healing. But if you don't act on the anxiety, if you act on something else, something that is inside of you, but it is coming from within. It's not getting stuck in the head. It's not overthinking, what if we do this and this, that, and this happens and that happens. It's not about catastrophizing. It's about doing what you feel you want to do. Because Ceres is about disorder. And what is disorder? Disorder is simply you not being what you should be, not doing what you should do, investing in something, chasing something that you're never gonna be satisfied with, no matter how much you get out of it. So you drop that thing. But if you have Ceres, for example, in the second house, where I have it, and that thing that you're after is money and stability, does it mean you stop chasing the money? Yes, you stop chasing, but you're still making the money. You're still working for it. But you don't try to work for a future which may never come. So for example, many people with Ceres in the second house or Taurus, they'll go for the money over and over and over and over and over again, earning millions, and they have millions in the bank account, and they still don't feel safe. You know you have healed when you feel safe, despite the fact that you don't have those millions on your bank account. You still keep going after it. But what is it that gives you safety? What is it that overcomes the neurosis? Is you feeling that you will get what you need. trusting yourself while making your own choices, following your instincts. Why? Because Ceres is feminine. She's a woman. Every feminine asteroid in the natal chart is about instinct. The masculine asteroids are different. The masculine asteroids are about thinking logically and then fixing the situation. But the feminine ones, instinct. It's about listening to the body. It's about your connection to Mother Nature, which is why Demeter, Ceres equivalent, is a goddess of agriculture, because she's about culture, which is like a medium. You invest into that medium and you repeat a certain process of action, certain routine, certain activity to cultivate what you want, so you can reap, harvest the results later. Has the nature of Saturn, Ceres. But wait a second, isn't Saturn like a masculine planet? You would be wrong. Saturn is actually both feminine and masculine, because it's the ruler of Capricorn and Aquarius. But according to the elemental properties of Ceres, of course it's earth element, because it's about maintaining, keeping, getting, accumulating, and it's about the sign of Virgo, because it's about healing, and it's often related to diet, whether we consume a person or a thing, or we grow something. It also has to do with Taurus. So it has the nature of Taurus and Virgo, because where the neurotic issue is based on anxiety is Virgo, and the physical maintenance, keeping what you have very badly, attachment, is Taurus. However, it's also the nature of Cancer, because the nature of a mother. So like a mother to a child, the Ceres house and sign you have it in is your child. And you try to make that child grow like a plant. And unless something comes out of it, unless you can feel like you're gonna get it, you will always be neurotic. You will always get triggered once you lose anything in that house. So if you have Ceres in the 10th house, if you lose your reputation, if you lose your career, you're gonna go crazy. If you have Ceres in the 6th house, if you lose your health, if you change your diet, you go crazy. If you have Ceres in the 2nd house, if you lose money, if you use physical possessions, you go crazy. Okay, you see what I'm getting at. When I say crazy, you go neurotic. You get into a loop of thinking over and over and over again, and before you know it, you go on Google and you type in reoccurring thoughts, because that's exactly what happens. Reoccurring thoughts, repetition compulsion is like what do they call it, OCD. It's an OCD asteroid. I think that's the easiest way to remember what it means. Where is Ceres? Where you have OCD. Yes, and you can fix it by convincing yourself through your own actions, not words, not mentally, not psychologically, not emotionally, I don't give a shit. No, through action, you prove yourself. You prove to your self-identity that you will get that thing that you fear to lose. And then you have ontological security. And you will have the nurturing and protective side of Ceres, because Ceres, again, has the nature of Saturn. So that means you're going to have protection in that area of your life. But wait a second. You told me at the beginning that when I was a child, if I have Ceres there, that means I lost it and I couldn't get it. That's right. And that's why you get so good at getting it. It's exactly how Saturn works, isn't it? You suffer, you learn lessons, and then you get that thing which causes you suffering. You master it. You maintain control. Not because you're mentally ill, hopefully, but because you got the skills. You have what it takes. And that is like a talent, which is again Taurus thing, which is why I mentioned before. It's also related to Taurus. Because it's talent, it's resources. It's the resources that you will accumulate. You will succeed if you give it a chance. So that's basically it. Ceres in the natal horoscope. Now if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. And if you're interested to get a reading with me, to get the psychological breakdown, to understand your natal chart better, to really get clear and specific suggestions on what to do with your specific DNA blueprint, then reach out to me through Facebook Messenger, and see you in the next video.